Hi everyone, welcome to Glorious Learning Hub. Today I will talk about infringement notice. Infringement notice is a ticket issued to you when you commit an infringement offense. Fines are set by legislation and described as penalty units. We have more than 200 road rules in Victoria, so you can receive infringement notice when you breach some of these road rules and other traffic offenses. The police can issue you with an on-the-spot fine if they catch you committing an offense, especially driving offenses. They can also suspend your license depending on the nature of the offense. You can lose some demerit points as well, and it stays with you for 3 years. Fines are set by legislation and they are described as penalty unit. Currently, penalty unit is $181.74. It increases on 1st July of every year. So, infringement notices are always issued by agencies authorized by law to issue infringement notice. Private car park owners are not authorized by law to issue infringement notice. The police can issue infringement notice. Public Transport Victoria can issue infringement notice. Vic Roads can issue infringement notice. Local councils can issue infringement notice. Government departments or agencies like hospitals or institutions of higher learning like universities can issue infringement notice as well. So it all depends on your power under the legislation. You cannot issue infringement notice if you are not empowered by the legislation to do so. So the police issue on-the-spot fines. You can also receive infringement notice by post. It can be placed on your windscreen in terms of parking fines. So if you receive an infringement notice by post, that means maybe if you commit an infringement offense, within 2 weeks of commission of the offense, you will receive an infringement notice by post. Linked, formerly called CityLink, can also issue infringement notice when you go through toll road and you did not have e-tag or you didn't pay the required fee. It can issue you with an infringement notice. If you go on a public transport without valid ticket, public transport officers can issue with an infringement notice. So when you receive an infringement notice, you have options. First of all, you look at the infringement notice and you will find the agency that issued you with the infringement notice. They will also specify how you have to pay or the nature of the offense. Sometimes it comes with a nomination form whereby they can ask you to nominate another driver if you were not the driver. So if you were not the driver on that particular date, you can fill out the nomination form and send it back to the agency. Then the agency will send it to the person, nominated person, and they will write to you informing you that they have done that. Then if the person fails to comply, the infringement notice will go back in your name and the agency will send the infringement notice back to you. Another option is you may apply to pay by installment or apply to pay at a future date. You can apply for internal review. You can elect to go to court. Don't elect to go to court unless you have a valid reason, and always seek legal advice when you want to go to court. So if you want to apply for internal review, there are points that you can raise when you want to apply for internal review. You can say that you were not aware of the infringement notice, maybe if you moved house or your mail got missing, so you have to show evidence that you moved house. Normally when you move house, you are required to inform Vic Roads within 14 days. So if you can prove to them that it's not up to 14 days since you moved house and maybe you received this infringement notice or your mail got missing, they may look at your excuse, they may accept it, especially when the fine has already got to the stage of notice of final demand or other stages, maybe enforcement warrant, and you didn't know about the fine. You can raise the fact that you moved house, but you have to show evidence. You can also say that the notice infringement was given to you in error. Maybe someone gave your name. You can say that the officer acted unlawfully or unfairly or wasn't authorized by law to issue infringement in the first place. Or you can say that you sold your car or your car was stolen. You can also show that you come under exceptional circumstances. Exceptional circumstances is not defined by law, but you can say that you were running to attend to a medical emergency, but you have to show a medical report. You can say that your car broke down, but you have to show invoice or given to you by mechanic or tow van. You can also raise financial hardship. You have to also show that you're actually going through financial hardship. So if it's for the agency to accept your reasons at any stage. You can also prove or plead special circumstances. You can say that you come under special circumstances if you can prove that you were going through mental impairment, maybe acquired brain injury or intellectual disability or mental illness. This you can prove by doctor's report as well. You can say you were homeless at the time of the offense, or you were going through family violence, or that you are going through severe alcohol or drug addiction. This you have to prove as well. You cannot apply for internal review if the infringement notice was for excessive speeding or drink driving or drug driving, because they are more serious. You can only apply for internal review when the speeding fine, like you exceeded the speed limit to less than 10 kilometers. You can apply for internal review. So it's up to the internal review or the agency to accept your excuse or reason. So if you apply for internal review, the fine will be put on hold so that it doesn't increase. The money they normally add on top. So after the internal review and the agency accepts your reason or excuse, they can withdraw the fine and issue you with an official warning. They may reduce the additional money added on top of it and still ask you to pay. They can also insist on going to court. So if it is a police fine, the agency you have to deal with is Fines Victoria. At any stage, you can apply for internal review. But for fines issued by agencies, you cannot apply for internal review after it passes a penalty reminder notice. If it gets to enforcement stage, and that is when you became aware of the infringement notice, you can apply for enforcement review to Fines Victoria, and if they accept your reason as tangible, maybe you come under special circumstance or exceptional circumstance, they can send back the infringement back to the agency that issued you with that infringement. But the agency may refuse to review it. They may withdraw the fine and charge and summon you to court instead. So it's up to the agency to accept to review your application when it gets to enforcement warrant stage. So if you receive an infringement notice and you refuse to pay within 21 days, they will issue you with a penalty reminder notice with additional money on top. After that, if you do nothing, they will send you with notice of final demand with another additional money. If you do nothing, then they will register the fine with Fines Victoria, who will now send the enforcement warrant. At the enforcement warrant stage, Fines Victoria is going to add almost $60 on top. Then, enforcement warrant enables the sheriff to attend to your property or your house to ask you or request that you pay the money. You can also make an arrangement with the sheriff to pay by installment or at a future date. If you refuse to pay at the enforcement warrant stage, the sheriff will also give you 7-day notice. 7-day notice enables you to also arrange on how you can pay this money. If you still don't pay within 7 days, the sheriff can arrest you and release you on bail. Then you will appear in court at a future date. So the sheriff has got a lot of powers. They can enforce from the enforcement to warrant stage. They will clamp your car. They can attach your earning to that debt. They can sell your asset. They can attach the debt to your property. If you have property, they can take your plate number, can remove it from your car so that you cannot drive it. A lot of options they have got. So if you receive an infringement notice, don't wait or don't leave it to escalate. Don't leave it to get to the stage of going to court, because what happens in court appears on your criminal record. When the matter goes to court, or if the matter goes to court, the magistrate has got a lot of powers as well. The magistrate can order you to attend self-driving program. The magistrate can ask you to pay a higher fine. The magistrate can reduce the fine anyway. The magistrate can cancel or suspend your license. The magistrate can require you to do community service. So it's a lot of things that the magistrate may ask you to do. So if you receive an infringement notice, try and pay it or make an arrangement on how to pay. If you are a young person and you were issued with an infringement notice, what you're gonna do is the same options I have mentioned. Pay the fine in full within 21 days, or nominate another driver, or ask to pay by installment, or request to pay at a future date, request for internal review. If you want to elect to go to court, you go to children's court instead of magistrate court. That is where you meet with the registrar, who will be more flexible, and they can make arrangements with you on how you can pay this fine. So that is where I will cap it up for this video. I will continue with this topic, infringement. On my next video, I'm gonna talk about your possible defenses and what the police has got to prove if they charge you with driving while using your mobile phone, or driving an unregistered car, or you went through red lights, or driving without a seat belt. I will talk about what the police has to prove and your possible defenses in my next video. Please, if you receive this video, try and share it to your friends. Someone out there may learn something. You may know or what I'm talking about, but maybe your friend may not know. So remember, I was motivated to start this because of the pandemic. So the community legal center where I normally attend is temporarily not offering a face-to-face service. So I decided to do this for free, to give information to people out there. I know that I charge consultation fee when people come to my office for advice, but I have chosen to do this free of charge. But if you have a legal matter, seek legal advice. Thank you for watching. Watch out for my next video. Bye.